Welcome one and all, Nyanko here, and today I am going to be talking about a new super cool anime that I have been really into recently called Spy Family! So yeah, I have been mega into this since it first started airing. I haven't actually read the manga yet, so this might be another one where I go down a rabbit hole. But anyway, for now, if you don't know what Spy Family is because you've been living under a rock or you've been out of like internet signal for the past year, Spy Family is about a spy named Twilight who is given a mission to keep peace between East and West in his country. And the mission is he needs to have a family in 7 days so that he can get close to his mark to stop him from starting war, basically. So he goes to an orphanage in a dodgy part of town where he hopes that the record keeping won't be as good. He then finds a little girl, Anya, who is secretly a telepath, brings her home and makes himself like a little family, and goes to goes to enroll her in Eton College, or takes her for the exams and stuff. She passes, and then they find out that you can't go to this interview, which is the next stage in the process into getting into the school, if you don't have both parents. So now they're up a bit of creek because Lloyd, the new name for Twilight, doesn't have a wife. He'd been hoping that he could say that Anya's mother had died previously and that he was a single parent, but no. So enter Yor, who I hope to cosplay someday because she's gorgeous, who he finds... Now, she's coming under suspicion for being a spy herself at work because she's single and she's like 27. So they kind of team up, and she says that she'll pretend to be his wife for the interview if he pretends to be her boyfriend for this dinner. And then it kind of gets a bit chaotic, and like she announces to everybody that she's married, kind of thing, to Lloyd, and then they kind of move in together, backdate their marriage certificate and stuff, and they begin life as a family of 3. They then later on incorporate a doggy from the new season called Bond, who is adorable, and he is a sweetheart, and I want one. I have a little doggy of my own, but I want myself a Bond. So Bond's thing is he was a test subject, and he is like able to see into the future. So with Anya's mind reading abilities and Bond's precognition, they make quite a good team. It's just really sweet. It's a super cute anime. I mean, look at Anya. Look at her. She is just adorable. And her way of speaking is just so cute because she's actually younger than she's pretending to be, so her language skills aren't that great. So instead of saying outing, she says ooting. We's off on an ooting. Papa and Anya are off on an ooting. Papa and Mama are off on an ooting. Sorry, I just have to, it's so cute, I love it. It's just so cute, and it's really funny, but then it has some really serious stakes to it as well. So in one of the recent episodes of season 2, when Anya first finds Bondman, or Bond as she ends up calling him because she calls him Bond after Bondman, her favourite spy in her cartoon, Bond sees into the future and is like, "You're going to lose your papa," and she's like, "Oh no, I can't lose Papa," kind of thing. So she goes out and she rescues him basically by trying to figure out the bomb. And there's this really cute bit where she's like, in the comics, they always say you've got to cut the red or the blue wire. It's like, that pipe's black, what do I do? Which was really cute. Lloyd is like handsome as all heck, and he's pretending to be a psychiatrist. So it gives him a little bit more flexibility of like working all hours kind of thing, because I mean, psychiatry emergency, out he goes, and Yor doesn't get that suspicious. And then like again, the same with Yor, she's like hiding the fact that she's an assassin, so goes out on an evening, does her like assassin job, comes home, and it's funny the hijinks that happen. So like Lloyd will get the wrong end of the stick a lot of the time about something, and then Anya can mind read between everybody, so it's like, yeah, Papa, you got it wrong, and then he's like, I must do something, like, you know, I gotta fix this and stuff, and like Anya's like, no, Papa, it's fine. Same with Yor, you know, she'll be thinking about like murdering and killing and stuff, and it's like, dogs can't tell, like, so one of the things in it is like, dogs can't tell the difference between consonants and a consonants, or yeah, and when they're trying to think of Bond's name, and look, Jaws just is like thinking of, they can't tell the difference between cause of death, and then has this like funny little thinking thing, and she's constantly, everything she thinks of is like somehow related to assassination or like death, which causes Anya to be like, oh, which is really funny. I don't know, it's super wholesome. And I like that, you know, it's not like, I mean, Anya is like 5, she's quite young, and it is about her going to school and like her part in the mission, but then there's a heavy focus around Yor and Lloyd as well, and just like the family unit, and it's just really nice, especially to see an anime about family life that's very wholesome, and it's not just played for kicks. I mean, it is played for kicks and points, but, you know, there's a lot of, like, heartfeltness, and you can, like, relate a lot to, like, their circumstances, in a sense. Like, Yor was forced into the assassination lifestyle because of the fact she lost her parents when her little brother was very young, and when she was relatively young herself. So she had to provide for him, so again, she ended up becoming an assassin. Lloyd became the super spy Twilight because he lost everything in war, and he's desperate to keep war from happening again so that nobody else has to go through what he went through. Again, we can all relate to that in some sense. And then as well with Anya, she was a test subject. We don't know at the moment in the anime too much about like her past and stuff. All we know is that she cries when her mama is mentioned, like her real mother, which causes like Lloyd to like freak out and be like, I'm gonna kill you, you made my baby cry, which is again a really good way of showing how they're starting to become family. But I want to know more about Anya, so I probably will go and read the manga. Again, I'm terrible, you know, anything that interests me, and I start getting to a point where I'm like, I cannot wait for more like content. I can't wait for more content. I'm like, alright, I'll go read the manga, and then I read the manga and I get caught up on the manga, and then I have to wait weekly for that, so it's a never-ending cycle. But no, where was I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, like cute wholesomeness. So like you have their like cute interactions at home, you then watch them go off and be like super serious in like their secret lives, or you watch Anya's hijinks in like school and everything like that, and her becoming friends with like Becky, and her trying to get in with Damien, who is the son of the target that Lloyd needs to get close to, which is like the main reason why he had the kid in the first place. And yeah, Anya's just not a very good student, and she keeps messing up, and then she keeps desperately trying to find ways to help her papa, because she's like, I don't want to go back to the orphanage, I love my life, I cannot lose this life. And again, that's quite heavy on like, she must only be 4, I'm guessing 3 or 4, but she's pretending to be 6, so it'll be interesting to see how old she actually is, and see more of her like backstory and stuff. Other than that, it's just, you stick it on, you feel good by the end of it, or you like get really like, oh no, I can't, no, you, don't die. You know, Anya can't bear to lose you, Lloyd. And you know, same with Yor, to be fair, she becomes really fond of Yor. I've become very fond of Yor, I've become very fond of Lloyd as well. But no, it's just, I don't know, I think you can't really describe it in words sometimes when it comes to like shows that just make you feel this really nice sense of warmness, and like it just makes you feel happy. Like you watch it and you get like that serotonin boost, and you're just like, oh yes, I love this. Which I did. I knew it was hyped, and normally I don't go into shows. I don't like watching a lot of shows that are very hyped. Now the exception to that has been Chainsaw Man recently and Spy Family. Normally, if I try to watch something that's like super hype, I don't like it very much. an example of this was when Psychopaths was really big and it first came out. I didn't like it. I tried the sub and I couldn't get into it because there was so many subtitles flashing up across the bottom. I couldn't follow the story properly at the time because I didn't know any Japanese at this point. And then I came back to it a couple of years later when I saw that it had been dubbed, and I fell in love with the show. But again, the hype around it had died down. So I have a tendency of getting into shows that are like, either the hype has died down and it's a couple of years later, or like it's a really small show that no one's talking about and I just like get into it. I have a couple of videos actually coming up on a few of those like smaller shows that I like, that not a lot of people are talking about, but those will be in the coming weeks anyway. I really did go on a tangent there again. I'm very sorry, I'm babbling. Back to Spy Family. So yeah, if you want a show that gives you the doki doki warm feeling, that like makes you laugh, it makes you just want to live life again, definitely give Spy Family a go. Season 2 is currently airing at the moment. It's out in dub and sub on Crunchyroll. I have to admit, I've mainly been watching it in dub, and the dub is really good. I have seen an episode or two in sub, just because I was like, oh, I want to know a bit more. But then I was like, like, to be fair to me, I can switch between the sub and the dub, and it's not that drastic a difference that I notice, other than like, you know, the subtitles at the bottom. So yeah, I just kudos to the dub cast, and I mean the subcast is great too. So whichever your preference, it's there for both, like for both audiences to watch. Or if you want to watch the dub and then continue on with the sub, you can do that too because you can't wait. I'm very much like that at the moment with Chainsaw Man. I'm watching it dubbed and subbed. So I might end up doing that again with Spy Family, like watching the dub and then catching up with the sub. I mean, there's only like a 2-week difference between them, so episode 3 was it just came out dubbed, and like they're on like episode 5, so there's like a 2-week delay between the sub and the dub, which is, I mean, that's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. You actually get to enjoy it for longer if you watch the dub, because you'll have 2 extra weeks at the end of it, when it all stops airing. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great show so far. There's not been any major plot holes that I can think of. I mean, sometimes it's a bit funny because, like, Anya does things that you're like, no, that's a bit sus. Like, come on, Lloyd, question it. But then you're like, who would think that anyone would have special powers? Like, it's set in such a grounded reality. Like, they believe about the dogs being experimented on, but they don't know about the supernatural powers. So when they take in Bond, it's like, you'll have to keep a close eye on him because he's had a very bad life up until now, which is super cute. And the handler, if I could speak tonight, the handler lady is very much, you know, sweet about it, because she's like, okay, sweetheart, you can keep the doggy, but just give him a very good life because he's had a bad one till now. And Anya's like, yay, you know. And so they know that the dog was experimented on, but they don't know exactly what was done to the dog. So they just think he's been like super trained, when no, he's actually got like special abilities. So same with Anya, she's afraid that if her special abilities are found out, that they will like dump her back in the orphanage and stuff. But I mean, if you think about it, a spy having a telepathic daughter, Lloyd wouldn't get rid of her. Lloyd would keep her because she would be a super asset to him when it came to his mission, you know? Just get her, Anya, close to someone, have her read their mind, and then give him the information, you know? I think, but like in poor Anya's mind, every time people have realised that she was different or she was odd, she's been landed back in the orphanage. So she's terrified of being abandoned again, which is understandable. I mean, it's told in the beginning, she's had 4 different family names and been returned to the orphanage 4 times that year alone. You know, and that's part of, I think, why Lloyd keeps her, is because he realises just how lonely she is. And I'm wondering if there's going to be more into that, in the future, about how Lloyd is very similar to Anya in the sense of having no one come and save him, and also maybe being returned back to the orphanage a lot, or maybe he got taken in by the spy world very, very young, instead of like having someone save him and give him to an orphanage. But I can't wait to see more of it, to be fair. It's just, yeah, It's a great show. Go watch it yourself. If you've already seen it, comment down below and tell me who your favourite character is, why, what's your favourite episode. You know, I love to chat about these kind of things. Other than that, kittens, all I can say is take care of yourselves. Take all of my love. Remember to eat and drink something and take your tablets if you need to. And I will see you next time. Au revoir!